Ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuned in to our latest installment of What Would It Take? And now, here's your host, Summer Logan.
Oh my gosh, I love you.
I love you.
Y'all.
Oh, man.
Ooh, it is going to be actually like live today. Like
And
we are
live.
doing live and uncut
Live.
and straight raw off the hip.
Oh boy, that makes me nervous.
I told him, I was like, let's just get in the studio. So many things has prompted me this week. Y'all, welcome to What Would It Take? What Would It Take broadcast?
Yeah.
I thank y'all so much for tuning in. I thank y'all for commenting and giving love to the web page, to the Facebook page, we just started like what 2 months ago?
Yeah, I guess it has been 2 months.
It's been a whole
episodes.
2 months. Yeah. And y'all have really showed support for What Would It Take?
Definitely
and
appreciate the love.
Appreciate the love. Y'all, let me welcome and introduce my wonderful husband, my co-host, the co-host to the journey in my life, to the king of my castle.
Watch yourself, girl. Watch yourself.
I mean, my BFF, my ride or die.
Yup.
We are podcasting today. We jumped into the studio and I was like, pop up. Let's do a pop up on the podcast. I didn't even inform y'all early. Normally I try and inform y'all a week ahead of time to tune in. But welcome to the pop-up. Everybody who's getting ready to go on lunch, got your 11:30 break. And for those who are about to, go on lunch and tune in to us, I thank y'all.
Yes.
And then, matter of fact, that's what will be live. But when this airs, it'll be like 6:00 in the morning, I think.
Wow.
When this airs on a Monday. So good morning to the ones who hear us riding in on your way to work. And y'all like, well, what are they going to talk about today? Well, you know what? There's a lot going on that I want to talk about. And are y'all awake? Like for real awake? Because politics, I'll jump in politics real quick. Trump's on the move. And just because he's not president no more, don't mean that man is not plotting and planning his moment, his new moment. And you know what? I learned some things just reading the Bible, listening. Satan is a worthy adversary. Like you don't want to keep your eye off of him too long because he has made a life of learning his tactics and warfare and what to do. And if y'all ain't watching Trump, he's putting together his chess game. He's getting together the House of Representatives. He's getting out who he wants out and in who he needs in. If we're not starting to do the same thing with knowing who and researching who you are wanting to vote for in the 24 elections, in the coming up House of Representative elections, getting your knowledge. I'm not even well knowledgeable about when is the next vote? Can you look that up while we talking?
Yes.
Like, when is the next time we vote for the House of Representatives? And for those of you who are commenting right now in your car or rolling your eyes and commenting or about to comment on the Facebook page, that's great. I am happy that you are in knowledge. What are you doing with that knowledge? And who are you attempting to disciple about that knowledge? Because we have got to get into the House of Representatives the people who are for the people. McConnell has clearly stated, moved on. He's in the game right now, and it has nothing to do with the people. It has to do with the positioning of the Republicans. And if we don't start bringing these politicians to the table and holding them accountable for stop making plays that are for your party only and not for the people, isn't that why we vote? You tell us to vote. We have had blood, sweat, and tears in order to be able to vote as the Black people, as African American heritage, as people of color, whatever you want to entitle us, or whatever you entitle yourselves. We got blood in the game. And how dare us get so comfortable that we only voting and focus when the presidential election happens? Are y'all serious?
Yeah.
The House of Representatives is where the games is played. That's like when you are playing Monopoly. Okay, I'm just gonna go to my Monopoly players. You know what I'm saying? When you are playing Monopoly, what is your goal? You trying to make sure you land on Boardwalk and Park Place and Mediterranean to where and Baltic Avenue, so where somebody come around that corner, they hit no matter what. Yeah. Like, unless they get a roll from sweet baby Jesus in a manger, they're going to lay all on your property. And you like, yes, pay me.
Right. Same way.
And it's the same thing. Yeah. He's setting up his board.
Just to interject,
go for
real
it.
Quick. Just the next election is going to be, I think it's every 2 years. So next election is going to be 2022, which is next year. So
that's why he's moving so fast. And he's trying to get, Cheney out of there. He's trying to get, he ain't really too much worried about McConnell. McConnell going to do what McConnell has been doing. He is a tiger that ain't changing his stripes. So he can pretty much bank on what he's going to do, because he's going to do what's best for the Republican Party. And he is banking on that. But I think the sweet spot that the Republicans are not banking on is the fact that he's probably not even going to come in as a Republican. He's probably going to come in on his own party, and he needs who's in there out so that his party can be dominant.
Right.
Y'all, come on. If y'all don't see this man for what he's doing, I ain't saying Donald Trump is smart, right, wrong, indifferent. All I'm saying is he's strategic. And he's playing the game. He's playing the strategic moves. Why are we not that awake? All we want is 10 acres and a mule. Are y'all serious? I want more than that. I don't want I'm sorry, I'm going on a tangent.
Yeah, you went.
I am.
It's supposed to be 40 acres.
Well, 40 acres.
It needs to be 40 acres.
Okay.
Yeah, at least.
I don't.
But
go ahead.
The bottom line to it all really is just that, we have seen him, in power, and we know, and not that he's not smart, like you aforementioned, or even dumb for that matter, because a lot of people will, say from a slang point that he's dumb just because he doesn't look out, but he's doing what he feels like he needs to do.
Yeah.
But the unfortunate reality is that it's not concerning us. When I say us, I'm talking about us as Black people, us as middle class citizens, Black, white, or whoever. So knowing that he's not going to be supportive of us, whatever party he decides to do, whether it be Republican or whether he starts his own party, you got to see him for who he is and make sure that he does not even get close to getting in that position again.
Yeah.
And the only way that we can do it is going out and voting.
And that's it, voting and showing our strength in numbers.
Yes.
If we try and attempt to bring a one activist that's speaking for all of us, and they can easily snipe out that person. They can buy that one person out. They can literally snipe out that person. They can make it really hard for that one person that is a voice for the unification of the people. We have got to come together as a whole so that they can't get us all at one time.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, we have got to come together again. This ain't time to get tired. It's not time to get so happy that the trial went well for the George Floyd case. Well, it went well until a couple of weeks later when he appealed and said that one of the jurors or whatever stepped out of line, and so he's calling it a mistrial. Hold up. Why is that not all over the news?
Right.
We still celebrating, and y'all, they're planning Plan B.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And quietly, I might add.
And I think, and I really believe that's really been the downfall of, especially of African Americans. We always depend on that one shot. That one shot. Almost want to use the term one hit wonder. That just because we get the one win, then it's all over and we can go live our lives. And of course, the enemy, whoever that enemy is, says not so. The enemy doesn't lie down, just doesn't lie down. I mean, when, for example, you said that Satan is a worthy adversary, which he is a worthy. When you think about worthy adversary, that means that they're just not going to die down just because you took one L.
Right.
Hey, okay, I'm going to take this L, but I'm going back to the chalkboard and I'm devising another plan, a much better plan to come, and I'm coming at you, guns are blazing. And those of us that when we get a win, we take a win and then we just sit back in our easy chair and we just relax and sip on our lemonade or whatever, or sweet tea, because we thinking that it's all over. And then next thing we know, it hits us again. And then now we're back to square one talking about, oh man, that's injustice, man. Everybody's so racist and everything.
Right. Because you ain't staying woke.
Because we're not staying woke. And that's the thing, you got to stay woke. It's one thing to be woke for a moment, but it's a whole nother area when you stay woke. And so when you stay woke, you're always on your guard. You can see the enemy coming at you, and then you have a plan to combat that enemy.
I'm listening to you.
You're listening to me because I'm done talking.
Oh, okay.
no, I mean, but
okay. So
yeah. I was about to say, so when that ended,
I thought you said you was done talking.
No, I mean, well, I just
okay. Well, go ahead.
I tell you, we're live, unfiltered. This is just off the whim. So when that enemy comes at you, you have a plan to to combat that enemy. I mean, we one of the other reasons that we do mess up is because we don't have a plan. It's not that we can't defeat the enemy. We just don't have a plan to fight. We don't. I mean, what's the game plan?
Yeah,
and we haven't thought of anything, just because we're celebrating off of that one win,
right? And one thing that so first, before we go any further, let me give y'all a disclaimer. This podcast is for table talk discussions, and sometimes a lot of times we bring in experts and we talk about the topics of discussion. I am not claiming to always be right. I'm not claiming to always have the answers or even be knowledgeable completely about the topic of discussion. I am willing to be taught just like the rest of us. We are in a knowledge seeking age right now to where we are coming together, trying to have a discussion on how to make this thing work for us so that we can go forward. Okay. So if you hear me say some things that is off the wall, you be like, wait a minute. Like my husband corrected me. Baby, it's 40 acres and a mule. Cool. Fine. Whatever. Don't judge me there. Don't judge me there. Just know that I'm yet still learning. But I'm willing to be vulnerable so that we can have this conversation. I'm willing to come to the table now and not try and get I'm going to do a street term, not try and get educated to be able to talk in front of y'all so y'all won't snap at me. But I'm willing to be vulnerable and show y'all this is the norm of Black people and our understanding about where we are in this world. And there's not that many of us that are woke. So we're learning this thing together.
Right.
Let me first make that statement to you all. I am learning this along with y'all, and y'all are teaching me. And then maybe I'll bring some things to the table that teach y'all. But together is the goal. Unity is the goal. Learning to be vulnerable in front of each other and not feel like we have to have the answers is the goal.
Right.
Changing our narrative is the goal. Okay. Because at the end of this, what would it take? We want a 1 day unified prayer to God. Like, just give back our love to Him and say, let's just try it your way one time. What would it take for us to love on you? You love on us back. We get free from this thing. And let's see what we could have really been like if we would have never asked for a king and just really walked in this with you. Now, okay, back to what we was talking about.
Okay.
We got comfortable.
Oh, yes.
After the trial of what's his name? Derek Chauvin.
Yeah, Chauvin.
After the trial and the verdict, there were a couple of more killings.
Yes.
A few more killings. I know here in Louisville, definitely. But there are a few more killings after that, and there hasn't been a protest. There hasn't been an uproar. We had a whole gentleman killed, and the police officer came on the news and said, well, if you're going to attempt to run, or you're sitting in your car, or you're whatever, you're a threat. And he was easy with his words. He had no reservations because it is easy to kill us and get away with it. So, with that being said, I am asking us to stay awake. The Derek Chauvin thing ain't over, y'all. So he's supposed to be sentenced next month. And a judge is giving him a discretionary sentence between 10 years and 18 months and 15 years. Okay. For, it says the presumptive sentence for both second degree and third degree murder is 12 and a half years. So, I'm sorry. I know people in jail that have done less and got more. And they're like, well, he doesn't have any priors. I know people who don't have priors, have done less, and are paying more. We are in a state past beyond a state of emergency for our people, for our young people, for this is the area in which we live in. And they can do these things. And
right.
Y'all, let's see. I am a mom, and we are parents of 2 twin boys. Yep. We have more kids than that, but we're going to focus on the 2 twin boys.
Yeah.
Our twins are 16 and soon to be adult Black men.
Yeah.
And I said it on on the podcast last week. I have a fear of allowing them to drive and me get a phone call that my son will have to go through something that he doesn't know. Like I had to go downtown to Justice Hall a couple of weeks ago. And the police officer let me through, but he didn't realize that my twins were with me. And he looked at one of my twins. Why are you here? What do you want? For no reason, my son did nothing. Did absolutely nothing. And my son froze.
Of course.
And so I had to talk to the officer. I said, he's with me, sir. He's with me. Oh, gone through. And the next person that came through, he was so happy to see that person. Hey, going through, making jokes. But when he saw my sons, what do you want?
Yeah. It's a very unfair and very unfortunate reality that we live in, that that children are not allowed to express themselves. And when I'm talking now just about with hairstyles, clothing, tattoos, whatever, earrings, without getting, judged, or prejudged, which is, basically prejudice. And so which is one of the reasons why I, and I know you do the same thing. We tell them that when they go to certain places, that there is a certain way that you need to dress.
Yeah.
And
they were dressed appropriate. That's the thing.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, but yet and still, it's and sometimes.
And our son, the one that he was addressing, our son looks like something off Disney. He got the little curly, hair up top. Right. He got the little, little Moana, he looks like little Dora the Explorer's brother. He is.
Love you, son.
Right. And he's tatted a little bit, change, but it wasn't warranted.
Yeah, it wasn't warranted, but they also just, and so with, along with the, expressing yourself by how you look, how you present yourself, sometimes they're going off of your facial, just go off your facial features too.
Yeah.
Because all they see, all they see is a young Black man coming in, and I know how my son probably looked. He probably didn't look approachable.
Because he always has a pretty stern. He has a RBF face.
Yeah, right.
And like most teenagers do. Most teenagers have an RBF face, right?
Yeah.
And
especially teenage boys.
Right. Our twins, one is lighter in complexion, and the other twin is really dark in complexion. And
really dark though.
Really. Like, because he's been in the sun and football.
Really dark.
Like
though.
sun and football though, like Fat Man is
okay.
And so like one is really light in color, one is really dark. They're night and day.
Right,
am I being
no, you're telling no, not at all. You're telling the truth.
But they both been in the sun. And one had on a hoodie and he had his hood up with his dreads out, right? That was the darker twin. The lighter twin, the one that looked like Disney, he had his tattoos out, a jersey on, and it was a very expensive jersey with some nice black jeans and nice tennis shoes. And what they're not seeing, you're seeing the skin color, but you're seeing two teenage boys that are 16, soon to be 17, who have one gets certified in welding, rig and TIG on June 1st, where he's going to be, making plenty of money as a 17-year-old and has a job that helps and brings back the community. And he's been on Wilkie News a few times. And you have the other one who is a graphic engineer who's already got a free ride to Oregon. And that's an academic scholarship.
Yeah.
Not to mention that they're going for football and they're varsity at PRP. So my thing is, you're seeing our skin color, but you don't know our story. Our story is not the graphics in which that you have seen on the news and the things that you see about teenagers, or that you cannot judge. Just like I can't judge y'all as a, you can't judge mine like that.
I heard you say something though.
Go ahead.
Which kind of goes back to my point about the whole presentation thing. And it doesn't seem, it seems like, it doesn't seem like it's a big deal, but
it is a big deal. They can't be individuals.
The fact that, even though he had on a nice basketball jersey, it was a basketball jersey.
That jersey was expensive. Okay.
All they see is a basketball jersey. This is the harsh reality. It seems so dumb to us.
It's stupid.
Because it is.
And but tattoos. They see
and they see tattoos. So
and jewelry.
And jewelry.
Because he had on all that.
So it's an automatic.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you here for?
Exactly. Like he's somebody's baby daddy or getting ready to go. He's just supporting his sister. That is the problem.
Yeah. So okay.
I'm sorry.
Digress. But
that's gonna be the next
thing. And the lessons that we, and I know for me personally, the lessons that I have to teach as a male, as a black male, that I have to teach my sons is that there is a very fine line that can't be crossed without you being prejudged.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's like, what do they, I don't understand. Like, what if we don't look like y'all, we're a threat. So we gotta wear our hair a certain way so that our hair doesn't seem like a threat.
Sometimes it's not even, and as simple as it sounds.
But we gotta look like we playing for their team.
Yeah.
In order to be
even if
accepted.
Even if you have a hairstyle, it's like almost like your hair has to always be edged up.
Right.
You have to have on a button-down shirt tucked into your pants.
Yeah.
With a belt on.
And you have to talk a certain way. And the way that I'm talking like right now, like that way is actually acceptable. But because of because of where I work in the past, I've been able to disguise my voice to be less aggressive so that people would accept me and not consider me angry.
And you enunciate your words.
And I make sure that I enunciate my words without using Ebonics, because Ebonics is improper and it's improper English. And I have to make sure that I tone my voice accordingly so that people would not take me aggressive, because Black women seem to be aggressive when we speak or we express ourselves. But in order for us not to be considered a threat or intimidating, I have to give you a tone that allows you to be in calm. But I can't talk like this, because if I talk like this, then I seem to be aggressive.
You have an attitude.
I have an attitude. So they don't allow us to even be who we are. We have to conform so that we can fit without having to be abused and bullied and make some money so that we can eat.
Right.
So, anywho, I wanted to take this to the next topic of discussion because I do have that concern for my children. But I recently got into a I'm gonna be all upfront and honest. I recently got into an altercation, right?
Mm.
A potential altercation. And it was a black on black altercation because I did not appreciate the way that my daughter's boyfriend was handling her. And I experienced the most embarrassing moment that any black family, two black families could experience, for me anyway. We had a disagreement. The two families had a disagreement. The police were called. And it took it took 4 hours for the police to come.
Wow.
The altercation happened earlier in the day. The police didn't get there until 11-ish at night.
Wow.
And we called and asked for the police to come. And they said, well, there's 4 calls ahead of you. We only got a few officers out there. You're just going to have to wait. I said, well, it's getting pretty aggressive and more people are showing up. We need help. I don't know what to tell you. We'll get there when we get there. Now, if I was in a different part of the city, I would have got a police officer quickly.
And that's the real of it. Man.
It's matter of fact, the police were called once she got on the bus.
Wow.
Before she got on the bus.
Wow.
They never came until right before you pulled up.
Wow.
You had drove from a whole different state.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow.
And the sun went down.
Wow. Wow.
I'm sorry.
No, and it is man. We've
they say don't
right. We're both right there.
They say don't defund the police, but can we get some funds?
Yeah.
While the funds that we are using, can we get that utilized? They telling us don't defund it, but I don't see where the benefits are.
I honestly don't know if it has been addressed or not, and I'm sure it probably has. But there has to be, and I guess this is why we're here. What would it take for use of a lesser term, stimulate the police chief, the leadership? Yes, I'm calling it out. The leadership of that police department, the mayor, whoever. Because I'm not as up on politics as you are. But what would it take? What would it take for us to stimulate them to realize that help is, you can't classify the kind of help, the levels of help based on the zip codes.
Yeah, that's not fair. That's still redlining. And I'm going to say it as ebonically sound as I can. That's redlining. Red line. I'm taking out the G and I'm leaving in the N and I'm making the N real long sound.
Apostrophe.
Red. Okay. Accent. I'm a snap my tongue when I say it. It is redlining all day. What are y'all doing to us? How do y'all sleep at night? Don't let that spirit overtake your humanity towards other humans.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Black, white, brown, whatever. Hey, if your car break down in the hood, I guarantee you're gonna want us to have some humanity for you.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna clutch your pearls. Let that car stop. Let that car stop somewhere on Martin Luther King or something. Let it stop. Oh. In any city. I'm calling any city.
Right.
Let somebody stop. Right. let some stop on Martin Luther King. I guarantee you're gonna want us to have humanity, and we will. We're not even like that.
Right.
Now there's some. Now you know what? Some people are coming out of pocket.
Yeah, some people are, but for the majority,
because they're doing that Asian
not.
hate thing, and that's stupid.
Man, that's so crazy. Khadijah, how you doing, girl?
Hey, Miss Khadijah.
Thanks for tuning in, girl. Love you. Man.
And that's another thing that I haven't even checked the stream.
Oh, we could.
I'm so sorry.
No, you good. We talking.
And so the thing is that, and for y'all who want to know, okay, and I'm not gonna call no names. I'm not gonna do anything, but I don't mind being vulnerable and being transparent. My daughter, she is in a really horrible relationship with this guy that is 1, too old, 2, he puts his hands on her, 3, she's now pregnant, 4, she's more focused on him than even graduating high school. And he's selling her all these pipe dreams, honey. You cannot out talk pillow talk. But I did what any parent would do. Mm-hmm. And I expressed myself to him that you cross her any other time, because she ain't trying to let you go, but you cross her any time, it's going to be it's going to be smoke in the city. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I did anything that a natural father would do to protect his daughter. Mm-hmm. And, now, mind you, I asked my husband, the one that you hear that's so lovely on this other side of me. This is her. He's the stepfather. I hate using the word stepfather, but we're just gonna let you logistically. We're gonna see on the table. Okay, certain things I asked him to stay out of because I don't want him involved in her foolishness. And something happened to my husband. Just let me handle her. Just that's the reason. Okay. We're not going to go into too much more, but that's the reason. Okay. I love my husband. And so I addressed this situation because I've raised her pretty much by myself as a single mom. Me and my husband, we got married, we're going on 6 years in, but for the most part of her life, I've raised her and I've raised all these kids by myself. And I've always been a protector. I've always been the protector of the household. And I ain't gonna say I've been mama and daddy. No, I just been summer. Mm-hmm. And so I did what was, what you're supposed to do. What I've learned, you put the fear in God in that person so they know that you ain't playing about your children.
Right.
And the other flip side is the other mother, she was protecting her son and not calling him to the table, but allowing the foolishness. Mm. And so we called the police on each other, okay? At normal situation. And the police came and said, well, what do y'all want us to do? Laughed about it. 3 white police officers laughed about it and moved on. There wasn't a crime. There wasn't anything that they needed to technically have happened, but they just know that there's altercation and there's tension between the families. And there's no I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but I know that I've heard it go further before with other families or other situations or issues resolved. They have so much crime or so much disdain for the Black community, or there's so much going on. They don't even have time to police a situation. They don't even have time to research, to put girth in it, to be proactive instead of reactive. And there needs to be some type of reform when it comes to police officers, because we also ask for help with the mental health issues, and there's no help where parents, y'all don't want us to touch them. Y'all don't put up all these laws.
Right.
I'm going a little bit. I'm touching a little bit everywhere right now, but
for what it is.
That there, y'all don't want us to touch them. Y'all don't want us to spank them. Y'all don't want us to time out them too long. Y'all don't want us to do. Y'all don't want us in the doctor's office because they can make their own choices at 14. When we're trying to put them on birth control because we seeing you wow out and we're seeing that you trying to purposefully get pregnant. We trying to get birth control in you. Well, you don't have to do anything that your mother tells you to do or your parents tell you to do. It's your body. Well, first and foremost, you're going to charge me child support if my son gets somebody pregnant, or I'm going to be the one that have to take care of a baby if my daughter gets pregnant and she's still up underneath my roof.
Right.
There's no help for me except for you looking down on me talking about I didn't do good as a parent.
Basically.
I'm like, does any of these laws that y'all doing make sense to y'all? Y'all taking a small percentage of people and making that the majority rule.
Yeah. Yeah. And going back to.
Oh, somebody said agreed.
Yeah. Khadijah.
I can't see it. Hey, Khadijah. My mom was going through that with my little cousin, and now she's running. Exactly. Yeah, our daughter ran away.
Yeah.
Because we were making demands and saying, no, this is what you need to do. This is what we are requiring. This is what we are saying that you're not going to do. And then when we deemed her a runaway, they said, well, I mean, we can, file the papers for you and that's it. And, that we can do like some type of a paper trail warrant or something like that for her, but they're not going out, seeking and searching for them. There is absolutely nothing that we can do. And except for some of the police officers that do show up, they be like, just know you're going to need your parents one day. This life is rough.
Sometimes that's usually the farthest they'll go with it. There's, another unfortunate reality is that,
or they'll tell the girls, well, I done seen plenty of women show up dead, because they being with these relationships that the man is beating on them, this, that, and the other. Well, they're showing up dead because we're saying we need help and you can't help unless you see a crime.
Right. Exactly. And
there's no middle ground.
Yeah, there's no middle ground at all. We're and we need more, not just policemen, police officers, but we need more civilians, because we've gone away from what worked.
Yeah,
with it being taken a village to raise a child. There is a way to discipline a child without abusing them.
Yeah, because and then for the ones that the ones that do end up hitting a child out of anger, you not just mad at the child, you mad at the system too.
Yeah,
because you feel trapped, you feel cornered.
Exactly,
and you gonna sit there and talk crazy to me.
Jeez.
After. My cousin is 16 with a 74. Come on. My daughter is 19 with a 27-year-old, 26-year-old, whatever, however old he is.
Yeah.
And he purposefully waited until she turned 18 so that I could not do statutory rape. So I couldn't do a statutory rape charge. And they planned it because what got her out the house was because she didn't want to do chores no more. She didn't want to go to school. And he made sure that he paid for her little incidents that she wanted and her little freedoms.
Yeah.
And that's how he got her out the house. Because I'm trying to do what's right, which is teach you about your hygiene, make sure that you are cleaning your room, making sure, because they don't teach home economics no more. So I got to teach home economics too at home. I got to teach you how to clean good.
Exactly.
All that, that a mother is supposed to be teaching her daughter. I can't do that because I got this pedophile sitting next door. Trying to figure out who he's going to, grab up next. And then my daughter being vulnerable and being young, all she knows is somebody's paying attention to her and her father doesn't. Not my husband, but her dad, that her father doesn't. So she's and I've already gotten to the counselors, and yes, I've gotten her to counseling, and yes, we're doing all of that, and yes, she is bipolar. We're not even going to speak on the mental health issues that our community has to endure, and the trauma that we are enduring mentally, and the PTSD that we are enduring with our children, and the ADHD, and the ADD. So there's so many mental health issues that we have encountered and encountering, and there is no help for us out here because the police officer, all they know is if it's a crime, here I come. If it's a mental health issue, well, I don't know what to tell you to do. Well, if I'm telling you that there is documented mental health issues and I need to get her to a mental health hospital, unless she's harming herself or attempting to commit suicide, there is no help, because at 14, 15, and 16, now they can make their own medical necessities. And at 15, 14, and 16, you don't know what's necessities. You don't know what your rights are, what your needs are. That's what I'm here for. As a parent. And I know y'all, I'm going on a tangent, but I'm telling y'all there are so many other mothers out there like this a lot with me. And I did this thing. I had to do it by myself as a single mom. My husband didn't come in until the end, into the end game. And the parts that he did come in on broke his heart. Having to leave her at the mental hospital for 30, 40 days at a time. Then they have to go to school from there. I can't tell you how many times I done been in Our Lady of Peace. How many times I done been to community, if you're listening in Indianapolis, how many times I done been in Community North behavioral health services. How many times I have been to the Commonwealth services here when they're trying to help us, but they're certain tides that their hands are tied, and you going in and out of systems that are not meant to help you, because there's not even that much help mental health wise financially with the insurance companies. It's not big business yet. All they want to do is put them on ADHD meds, but don't develop schools for children that have ADHD, because actually they are pretty smart. It's smart. Just the schools are operating at a slower pace, so our children get bored, then deemed the problem children, and they're not. When their hands get idle, they get bored, so therefore they get into something else, because you're not keeping their attention. So therefore, I got to learn how to be a teacher and teach my ADHD kid at home, because you don't know how to operate with children that have higher IQs than what you're used to teaching. So anywho, I'll come back down.
Yeah, this is what happened when we don't plan nothing.
I got on a tangent. But yeah, go ahead, baby. I'm sorry. I spoke out of my my single mamahood there for a minute.
And we need, and I'm not just saying this because you're my wife. But I'm saying this because we're losing our generation. We're losing our next generation. I mean, like on a rapid pace. On such a rapid pace. And bottom line is we have to do better. So we, which is one of the many reasons why we decided to. I mean, or we've been called to do this, because we need some suggestions. We need ideals on, and we need to come together.
Yeah.
And come up with something to try to make this better.
No, we had something. Wait.
You're right.
When it came to Black Wall Street, I'm gonna hit something because we've been on the anniversary of Black Wall Street. When it came to Black Wall Street, we had our own. We had our own communities. We had what we needed to do, but y'all decided to that spirit, I'm gonna call it for what it is.
Okay.
Decided to attempt to enable us. But when we do attempt to develop something that'll work, then it gets snipped out because you do not want this culture, these people to excel.
Right.
And all we want is peace.
Yeah.
All we want is peace. We do not want the haves and the have-nots. All we want is equality. Right. And equality seems to be the no-no word because y'all people feel like there has to be a have and a have-nots. There have to be the do's and the not to do's because the not to do's pay for the do's to have. And it is time out for all of that. People, we have got to support the ones who are getting answers and making a way. Right. We have to support the ones who are attempting to hold on. Matter of fact, when Russell Simmons, Def Comedy Jam, when he attempted to come up and do his own comedy show, and he started, I mean, it got live. It started making money. It started moving. But he was snipped out. He was silenced. And the comics that were on there ended up getting blackballed in the comedy area. And anybody who was on there their careers wouldn't take off, only far few and in between.
Right.
And when we attempt to stand up for ourselves or we attempt to do something, immediately you try and cut us off at the legs so that we become needy again. And it's a cycle. It just keeps happening. But I don't know if y'all notice that no matter how much they keep doing it to us, we rise. You can't hold us down. You're not going to be able to. There is going to be a ram in a bush somewhere for us because that's how God does it for us.
Right.
There is somebody that is going to have compassion. There is somebody that's going to step out of the box of hatred, prejudice, bigotry, and hate.
Right.
And they are going to help because you cannot look at what's going on with us, take a blinder to it, and not have some compassion about what we are going through as a culture, as a family, as a unit. And if we are getting hit as a unit, y'all, we are going to have to stand up as a unit. They can't hit us all. They can try and pick off one or two, but they cannot get us all as a unit. And when it comes to mental health, when it comes to our children even we are stellars at what we do inside the learning schools, inside what we do, because we are built and bred to have to be better than the next so that we can achieve.
Right.
So with that being said, it has been ground in us to hustle, to work hard, to perform, to have an outlet when it comes to athletics, when it comes to basketball, football, when it comes to our bodies are even built differently.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have beautiful, big, full lips. We have beautiful different skin tones. We have thickness in our thighs and waves in our body structures as women. We have beautiful hips and thighs and backsides and there's so many different loveliness things about us that stand out, that needs to be celebrated, that haven't been able to be celebrated. And that narrative is changing. But when the narrative is changing, you have to continue the momentum.
True.
Am I cutting you off in any way?
I'm just reading these comments. And thank you all for tuning in. Junior, I see you, man. Sandra, the last shall be first. You're right.
That's right. And this is our time to be first.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We are coming. I don't know if y'all feel it or not, but a shift happened, people. A shift happened. Now, what are we going to do with it? We need to hold tight, do what God is providing for us, see what he is doing with it, and roll with him. We don't need nobody. We don't have to ask a soul for us to be free. We are free because we say we're free. We are not oppressed because we say we're not oppressed. I learned that last week. We said we have that what we say we have.
That's right.
But the knowledge is here. What are we going to do with it? Get off the cycle of waiting for a Moses and a Joshua to get us out of Dodge. Y'all, we need to get ourselves out of it. Start learning what to do with your credit, learning how to get the system that is inappropriate, get it right again. There are plenty of us that know how to get into the House of Representatives as politicians. You're sitting being slowful, wishing that somebody else would do something with education. Well, if that was put on your plate by God and he gave you the dream, by golly, go gosh gum, get up and go be somebody. You gotta be somebody if you want to go somewhere. Does anybody remember that song? You gotta wake up and pay attention. Hello.
Summer Logan, everybody.
No, I'm just saying. Come on.
You're right.
I went on a tangent. My husband's gonna talk now.
No. You're on it. Of course, Oh man. Yeah, we definitely got to do better.
Somebody said golly go gosh gum.
Hey, that was it. I almost fell out of my seat when she did that. That was hilarious.
Look, I can get corny, but I'm trying to make my point.
Yeah. So, and for those of y'all that just tuning in, thank you for tuning in, man. We really didn't have any particular subject to talk about. I mean, we was just talking. I mean, this is like you kind of like dipping into our life
talk.
At home. Yeah, this is porch talk for us. This is bedtime talk for us.
Yeah.
We have fun, we laugh and joke a lot, and but we also talk about these topics and the concerns that need to be addressed.
Yeah.
Because
wow.
If we ignore these things, man, oh my goodness, I mean, the next, like I said before, the next generation is going to be extinct.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, no, I'm not even going to say the next generation going to be extinct, because if you have watched this next generation come up, they are beasts.
Yeah.
They are not waiting for anybody to give them a go. Right. They're making their own go.
Right. But unfortunately, which is one of the reasons why they're doing everything they can to be snuffed out.
But I don't want to wait for them to grow up to experience freedom. True. Because by the time they grow up, I'm going to be in my 80s. And that's not what I'm doing. Yeah. I'm taking responsibility for my adulthood now. Yeah. I got the ability now. Right. If I am like this podcast, I didn't know nothing about no podcast. The Lord woke me up, told me, do a podcast. I said, do a podcast. I said, so I'm supposed to do it. I said, God, I don't even have no podcast equipment. How in the world? I said, okay, so Google's my friend. I started researching Google. I said, Google, tell me about podcasts. Then Speak Easy pops up. That's in Louisville. And I called them. They're amazing.
Ever so shameless.
I mean, they are amazing. They rock this thing out for me.
Highly recommend it.
It'll highly recommend it. It allows me to walk out what God say do. God's going to give you the ram in the bush. He's going to give you the answers. He's going to give you a way out. Matter of fact, y'all tune in to also another Facebook page. Justin Yates. It's called Think Tank. Tune in to Justin. Pop up Facebook and then type in Think Tank. THINK Tank. TANK.
Right.
And he talks about some interesting topics as well. There is a lot of topical discussions that are popping up now, and he'll be on the podcast soon too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of topical discussions that are popping up because God is starting to put a question in your soul and say, wait a minute, hold up.
Right.
Something in this milk ain't white. Something ain't right. I need to make a change. I need to do something indifferent. Some of us are out here actively protesting. Some of us are actively using our funds to help people protest, delivering food, water, whatever. However you play your part though.
I think also, I'm also almost crazy enough to believe that we have always seen the discoloration in the milk.
Yes.
But I also believe that we're just now getting to the point of having enough courage to speak on it.
Yeah.
And going back to, raising this next generation, contrary to popular belief, I was going to tell you that
I'm listening.
And I was trying to, I was almost like double dutch trying to jump in when I could.
You gotta jump in it. You gotta jump in
I gotta jump in it. But and contrary to popular belief, when I say popular, I'm talking about our next generation and generation after, until we die, we do have some things that y'all can use, some nuggets that we can share that y'all can use to be even that more powerful.
Yeah.
Because y'all are, like she said, y'all are already beasts.
Yes. I love the way that they think. I love the way that they think out of the box. And my children, I sit and I learn from, and I love them. I love my daughter, Jay, she's doing a few financial classes to help people be financially stable. And she's working all across Arizona, down south, Dallas. She's in Atlanta. That's where her hub is. And she's doing some things with, podcasts and then one of my twins, he's trying to disciple others and discuss what changes need to be made. And we're doing this out of the love of our people to change, to want change, to say systematic racism is not okay.
Right.
You can't just keep looking at me and thinking that I am in some type of way. I'm educated. I'm educating myself. I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want nobody to hurt me back.
Right.
All I want to do is live my life. But unfortunately, people wanting a white picket fence and some green grass, is not enough. It's not enough, because if you have and I don't have, we ain't made it.
Right.
We have to want to have everybody have green grass and a picket fence and a little cute little dog named Fido and a cat named Kitty. I don't think that it is proper for one person to be able to have, and my brother who wants to make it not make it. I'm sorry. But some people don't. Some people, they don't want nothing, and they're down in the dumps.
I know.
I'm sorry, Fido and Kitty. But if I got another person that wants to come up,
right,
and they want to make it, help that person make it.
Absolutely.
Support them. If you see these kids, they using Facebook, they're using Instagram to post clothing items, and they're trying to get their own clothing brand, or they're doing something to that effect. Support them.
Exactly.
If you don't want their clothes, at least give $50 towards their cause. You ain't got to wear their clothes,
right? But
you can support their craft.
Support them,
and then we'll talk about all that other stuff later.
Yeah, exactly.
I went on a tangent, and I went on a mental health tangent, But there are so many things that we're just talking about. Oh, baby.
What's up, babe?
Black love.
Man, you talking about a shift. Man, that's a shift.
Hold on. Let me shift y'all into something. Because we have been, when it comes to slavery, the Black household unit has been attempted to be torn apart.
True. They
sold wives, they sold husbands, they killed husbands, they did so many things, snatched them away, taken. And when I say they, I'm not wanting you to focus on a culture. I don't want you to focus on white, Caucasian culture. I do not want you to focus on Asian culture. I don't want you to focus on that. I want you to focus on the spirit at hand that is in play.
Right.
It is not coincidence that other nationalities, including Italians,
come on now,
other nationalities have played a part in attempting to oppress us. It is a spirit that needs a body, and it will use who it can because it knows you can't see it, but you can see them.
And not just other cultures. Let me interject. Not just other cultures, but our culture ourselves.
Yeah, and our own cultures, because we've played a part in it too, because we have a lot of self-culture hate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that's the westernized culture in which that we have grown up. And so slavery has torn apart our Black family unit. And you don't see a lot of people, a lot of children growing up with a mom and a dad or hold on. I know this is about to make you kind of flip out, turn over. Somebody's grandma might be turning around in their grave, or a mama and mama family unit, a dad and a dad family unit. Right. Speaking of, shout out to,
I know the answer. She's just trying to get it out of me.
You went to their wedding. You played for their wedding.
Oh, my brothers, Rondell, Tony.
Yeah, Rondell and Tony.
Love y'all guys.
Love y'all.
The Browder
family.
Good people, man.
Hey,
good people.
They're making a family unit work. Adopted a beautiful son. And if anybody on here knows them, tell them again, hey, man. I'll send also a shout out on Facebook.
Much love.
We need family units. What that looks like. Do not get caught up in the church part of it right now. Okay? Because some or even the westernized understanding of it.
Yeah.
Let's not go there right now, because this is a no judgment zone. Family unit is family unit. Because at the end of the day, if that child is being loved, taken care of, they're not, that child has free reign to decide whether it wants to love male, female, whoever. Don't go there. What I'm saying is a family unit. It does not always have to look like what you expect it to be depicted as. Stop judging everybody. Come off that judgmental spirit, because the only person that worries about the sins is God. That's his job. Your job is to love. Let's just start there. Anywho.
Yeah. We was talking about black love.
Black love.
Okay.
Black love. I love you.
I love you.
I love the fact that our marriage is what it is.
Yes.
It is evolving. It is ever changing. You are my BFF. And we are attempting to journey. We are journeying life with each other while we are raising children without a handbook.
Right.
We got the Bible, yes, but God only tells you most of the time the beginning and the end. He don't let you know about that middle thing. Matter of fact, when he went through that middle thing, he disappeared too. Just so we
come
wouldn't.
On now.
Come on.
We're gonna talk about it.
We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
And Black love has a narrative to be written. And how are we writing that narrative? Because I have a whole love thing with this man that he has musicianhood. He is a wonderful musician, and I am in love with him being a musician.
Thank you.
And
Okay.
and every day I learn to love him different. Not different, but more.
Mm-hmm.
And I learn a different way to love him, and I learn a different. I learned something different about him.
Mm-hmm.
What?
No, these comments, they're getting
these
me.
comments.
Trust me, I'm paying attention.
And I learned that the way that he loves me is like, no other. But and I'm speaking from a place of, even when you have interracial couples,
Right.
they love us
Mm-hmm.
as far as Caucasian, Asians,
Mm-hmm.
you name it. There's nothing like Black love.
Yeah, absolutely.
And and a lot of people, once they start getting into the love of us,
mm-hmm.
they like, Black people are so dope. Y'all are so dope.
Yeah.
But we love y'all, and we tell y'all from a place of love, and it's going to come out sometimes a little abrupt, because sometimes people need an abrupt swift kick in the butt. But our love is I guess the only way to describe it is dope.
Yeah, it is dope, man. I mean, and
because they say, "What you go black, you never go back." All that stuff.
One out of the many things. But it really is. And then I, tying along with what you said, I'm loving the journey that we, have chosen to take.
Yeah.
And it gets better and better each and every day.
And we love at such a spiritual connection, the spiritual level. It is loving one of us in a deeper sense of there's something that happens when you love and be even in a relationship, like a friendship or whatnot, with one of us, because we bring something different to the table.
True.
That is elevating.
True.
And I like it. True. I like being in a position that we're in.
And I know we're talking about Black love, but let's just, love in general, though. I mean, when you like truly love somebody, and I think that's one of the things that really makes our love that we share for each other so dope.
Yeah.
All right, and let me
talk about it.
Let me preface this next comment by saying that we're not perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. We have arguments just like the next couple.
But there's a way to argue and there's a way to disagree.
Facts. But one of the many, many things that makes our love so dope is the fact that you not only see, but you celebrate the value in me and you. You know what? You don't stop today.
Aw, I love you.
I love you. I mean, and I think, a lot of couples, and for any couples that are listening out there, I encourage you to do that and don't get tired of doing that.
Yeah.
I will never ever get tired of letting my wife know that I love her. I will never ever get tired of letting my wife know how beautiful she is, not just externally, but internally as well. I'll never ever get tired of letting her know just how dope she is, how intellectual she is.
Yeah.
How, every time I see her do something, she does it in such a way. I'm like, man, that's so dope, man. How you do? I mean, and she sometimes, I know sometimes she thinks I'm just egging her on, but I'm so, when I say I'm so serious when I compliment her, because, because it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, like one thing I loved about you when you said, I loved you. I did not anticipate. You said, I didn't realize. I knew what it took to get you. I just didn't know what it took to keep you.
Correct.
And that was like I knew that you had been pondering some things when you said that. Like, I knew that you had been, because you got my attention. Mm-hmm. But the beautiful thing about me is you let it get too stale, and I'd be like, well, it's been good. But it's been fun. Right. And so, I don't, I'm just going to have to take that L, throw them two deuces up to God and be like, you know what? One thing you may make mercy and grace. You made mercy and grace. I'm gone. And so I'm going to ask for forgiveness at the divorce table. No, okay.
Where
that's
love
not funny.
abounds, grace also abounds. So, But real love does. What real love does is.
I'm just playing, y'all. Go ahead.
No, she ain't. No, I'm just kidding.
No, he's right.
What real love does, though, is when it's not working or when it seems stale, real love stimulates your mind to explore what do we do to make it interesting. Yeah. And to keep it interesting.
To be not okay. One thing when we got married, mm-hmm. What was said to us was love them from their needs, not what you think they need.
Yeah.
But love each other by what the other needs.
Yeah.
And listen to their needs.
Exactly.
Mm. And you have done that. You have done that for me. I honor you.
Oh, wow.
And all of that. We have been married. We have been divorced. We have been separated. Yep. We have got back together. Yep. We have been remarried. Yep. We have explored this thing in love. Right. Because the one thing that we always made a non-negotiable was we will always remain friends.
Absolutely.
And our friendship was worth everything because that had the longest tenure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so we was like, well, maybe marriage just ain't gonna work out for us. But when we realized that marriage did work out for us, and it was something that we had to work out. With just me and you and God. Yeah. Period.
Now that's a whole subject within itself.
Don't bring nobody else in your marriage that has opinions, but God, you and your husband.
Yep.
Period. Point blank. The mamas stay out their marriage. Yep. Learn your place. Learn your role. Mm-hmm. They leave from you and cleave to each other.
Yeah, make suggestions.
But stay out of it. Come from a place of wisdom. Yeah. I'm going to offer it to you, but it is your choice to pick it up or not.
Yep.
But I still love you whether you picked up the wisdom or not. They're grown and they make their own decision. They got to work that thing out. If they come to you for help, they come to you for help.
Right.
But one thing that I want to say to all married couples, whether you are LGBTQ married, whether you are polygamous, whether you are monogamous, don't throw monogamy people. Don't throw your beliefs on everybody else. Let the marriages be. If these people made commitments to each other, let them be committed. Let them do their thing. If they come to you and say, what do you think? Then offer your opinions, but let's not judge each other because that's a no, because marriage bed undefiled between them two people, let it be. Let God be their judge. You just love. That's all you got to do. Love covers a multitude of sin. It covers, you can love the hell out of a person. You can love them. Love.
Right.
Nobody needs a Bible being beat over somebody's head because then it makes the word ineffective. Right. That's a different story. Anyway, the love that you and I share, I appreciate you. Yeah. And I know that a lot of times lately they had this what is that man's name? Jackson, the black guy who was doing all the YouTube stuff and the Facebook stuff, teaching women about, what not to do with with relationships and stuff like that.
Okay, so you're gonna have to catch me up. I'm gonna be the first to admit that I have no idea what you're talking about right now.
Yeah, you done seen him, dark-skinned guy on Facebook.
I may have seen him, but
and he's sitting in his car and he's talking to women about.
Okay. I think I may have seen a couple of his clips. Okay.
Well,
I was like,
yeah. Okay, so I know. Look, I know y'all seen this guy, and then he faltered, right? Well, so y'all felt like he faltered. He faltered, and he cheated on his wife because he'd ended up getting married and he cheated on his wife. And then that didn't negate all that he said. Because when he talked to y'all, he was talking and he was actually saying some good stuff. Whether he ate his own product or not, I ain't got to do with that. What he said was justified. Now, did he live up to what he said? Maybe, maybe not. But he's a human and he's going to make mistakes. Let me tell you something. Monogamous people, I speaking to y'all, and I did say that, right? I speaking to y'all. If your husband steps out on you or your wife steps out on you, God is bigger. God is bigger than the cheat. Do not end your marriage because the person stepped out. That is if you was in a fight and the person, your opponent, punched you one time, is that the time to stop fighting? No, you get up if it knocked you down and you win the fight. Your wife, your husband is worth it.
Absolutely.
It's worth it.
Absolutely.
They are going to falter. They're human people.
Right.
And they're meant to monogamy. They're meant to be with you. They're meant to be with you and you alone for the rest of their lives. For the rest of their lives by themselves with you only. So cut a brother or sister some slack. Come on, they're not God. They're not Christ. Yeah, they made a commitment, but you also made a commitment not to eat after 10 p.m. and you're doing it anyway. So look.
Oh my gosh, she's on one today. Come on, let's go.
Stop. Let's pull this thing together here. People gonna make fun. I'm not a monogamous. I'm speaking from a totally different place. Me and my husband will be polygamous. We'll talk about that on another show. But that's why my husband, I can love on him, talk to him, Y'all can catch any picture y'all want to if he happen to be out with a beautiful young lady. Trust me, it ain't because it's a whole scandal. But anywho, y'all ain't gonna catch that on my late show. Y'all, God is the only thing that's the constant in your life.
Right.
Remember that. Don't put your husbands and wives above God. He is your constant.
Absolutely.
And you understand that the people who you are journeying life through, they falter just like you.
True.
You cannot put them. Some people be like, I don't want nobody else. I wouldn't want nobody else. Yada, 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 yada. Well, honey, that's great and fine and dandy for you. So if that's the case, then you take that energy and you pray towards your husband, your wife, your spouse, and you ask God to cover them. And if they falter, you love him just like God loved you when he brought you into salvation. You are the representation on this earth when it comes to the body of Christ. You are a living epistle. And if God forgives you every day for whatever, because everybody sins, you should be at a place of mercy and forgiveness for, I don't know who is meant to hear this. You should be in a place of forgiveness for your spouse, for your people, for your a significant other. My God.
Yeah.
Because you're going to want it one day for yourself.
And you're going to need it one day.
And you're going to need it. Why would you put that person up on a pedestal so high that when they falter, it is the end of years of coming together and being with that individual, you knew he was a hoe when you married him in the first place. You know that wasn't no surprise. You knew that man was hoeing when you met him. You just thought you won the challenge. You thought it was a challenge that I beat out the other females and that's mine.
You was gonna be the one that was
so
gonna
you was
change
gonna be
him.
the one that changed him. Girl, please. Stuff get old in between your. I almost said something. In between your legs. That you keep waking up to it every day, and that's the only thing that you seeing. That's you don't know what his ailments are. You don't know what generational curses that followed along with him, because maybe you didn't take the time to find out all his generational curses, because sometimes that ain't a checkbox for one of y'all.
Right.
But it need to be. You need to find out what's in his family or her family, so that these things are not catching you by surprise.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then marriages are ending. And now we statistically on the low because Christian marriages are the ones that are getting divorced more than anything.
And that's you nailed it on the head. I mean, that's one of the reasons why okay, Junior. That's one of the reasons why divorce has happened, because it catches us by surprise to such an extent that we don't know what to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, but that's like the first thing that pops up in our mind. And it seems as if it's the easy way out.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. And man. I'm looking at, and you're right. I see Richard McCombs. Yes. Thank you. With don't let the devil trick you, be sober minded. That is a post that I post in the Facebook page all the time. Be sober minded. Yep. Because you can be so drunk with emotion when the devil throws something your way. He'd be like, look, if I tempt him with this, I bet you anything, she gonna get so mad. She's going to be so drunk with rage, anger, emotion. I'm gonna knock her right out of the line to her blessing, because her blessing was guaranteed to come. But if I do this to her, I guarantee you she's gonna be so drunk with wanting vengeance and anger, she's going to go in a down spiral and knock herself into a delay for her blessing.
Right.
Or him, a delay for his blessing, because he's so captivated by his wife, or she's so captivated by her husband, she not even seeing me coming. Yeah. Y'all stay sober minded. The only thing you need to have that much captivation on is God. Your spouse is a accessory to life. They're not a need or a constant, unless God predestined something to happen and he needs you, just like Hosea had to marry the whore. He needs you to be in a position. And yes, marriages are called by God. Yes, I'm not saying that they're not, but they're not supposed to be put on pedestals above God. If it becomes your God, now you're in error. Now you out of line. Now there's some things that have to be put in position. I know I'm going a whole bunch of different directions, y'all, but this is what happens when I get to go live without outlines.
Right.
And
we just talking.
Right. And we're just talking.
Yeah, this is Porch Talk.
And this is Porch Talk.
That's the title right there.
Hey, is that the title?
Porch
Andrew, it's called Porch Talk.
There we go.
I just talked to my engineer. And so look, this is Porch Talk, y'all. And I want y'all to understand that this is what we have and what we're discussing, because we have got to come to a place of having realistic expectations for your Black love, for your love, for the things that you are doing with your marriages. And whether your marriages be an LGBTQ marriage, whether it be a polygamous marriage, whether it be a monogamous marriage. I have lived a couple of those, monogamy and polygamy. And I'm telling you right now that whatever marriage you decide that you're in or that you're wanting to venture into, just have God first for real and have realistic expectations for your spouse. Realistic expectations. What is your love language? What is my love language? Do you respect my love language? Can you operate in what my love language is? Can I operate in what your love language is? And then go from there. And then we can love each other, but y'all have to know where y'all role is. Y'all have to know what the role that you playing.
Absolutely.
And be understanding and be okay with it, and be okay with maybe you're not a monogamist. Okay? Let's just start right there. Let's just be real with ourselves. Is that something that you were bred to do? Like, that's what. And polygamy is just like LGBTQ, and I think there's even more letters now. They're ever evolving. They're learning some things about themselves that I'm not this, but I'm that. But I'm not this, but I am that.
Right.
And I'm learning about marriage that it's not cookie cutter like everybody else makes it believe to be. No, it is not.
Right.
It is what, as long as God is okay with me, and he's talking and he's okay with me and my husband, is none of your business.
I was just about to say, polygamous marriage is not cookie cutter, just like the King James version is. Okay, that's
right.
That's a whole other.
But that's the thing. It's like, it's not cookie cutter. And what is cool for me and my husband is me and my husband.
Right.
Let that be. And
it's going to be women.
Right. And polygamy is broad. So don't go thinking that Joseph has 5 wives, because he don't, because it's illegal in the United States. So let's go there. Polygamy doesn't mean that you're married to multiple people. It has multiple meanings. Okay.
Or we just looking to have different partners.
Right. Or we're looking to be perverted and swinging.
Right.
Okay. No. Look, first and foremost, if you swing, that's on you. I ain't no judge. Love you, mean it. Okay. But I'm not a swinger. I'm not into the casual sex thing. I did that in my 20s. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. Nope. I'm not. I'm just grown.
Yeah,
I've grown from that stage of life. From having just random sex. I'm not giving my body to that's just not happening. I'm not giving my body to everybody. I think we talked about that today. Like, not giving your body, our bodies to everybody. That's not what this is.
Yeah, but we're not going to be naive. At the same time, we're not going to be naive to the fact that, we can still be attracted to someone either.
Exactly.
I mean,
my husband is married. He's not dead. Right. He's married. He's not dead. I'm not a ball and chain.
And these are all the things that we talk about, which leads to another part of, another aspect of the Black love, communication.
Yeah.
You can never have enough communication. I mean, that's in any relationship that you're in.
Yeah.
But since we're talking about Black love, one of the ways to grow Black love is to
communicate, because communication was broken down from us.
Yeah.
And I believe that we need to rebuild communication, rebuild eye contact.
Yep.
Like sometimes just standing, just sitting in front of each other, just having eye contact and understanding that, and no giving time, can you be in his shoes?
Right.
You cannot be a man.
Or vice versa.
But understanding and loving the differences between the two, and understanding his things that weigh on him because he is a Black man. There are ways to love him, and you have to understand the things that he struggles with every day that he gets dressed and has to walk out them doors being a Black man in America.
Right.
And vice versa.
Yeah. Being a Black woman in America.
Right. And those are key things that people need to understand, that makes the difference in Black love, because now you need to make sure you prepare, when I'm talking to the women, prepare a home for him when he comes home, that it is a place of peace. It is a place of rest, because he has gone through a whole heck of a lot. It's by the time he got back to you. You don't know the pressures that it is to be them because you cannot be them. You just know what the pressures are being you as a female. And men, the vice versa. Create that peaceful atmosphere for your queen when she comes home.
Absolutely. I was just about to say, don't ever think that you are, because we can be really good at this. Don't ever think you're too high up to where you cannot, if your wife is out working, that you cannot prepare a environment of peace, and do things that will make her life, that much easier when she walks in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and those things are important. Cater to one another.
Exactly.
Love on one another. Enjoy one another so that you have peace with each other and you can walk and listen to one another.
And
enjoy each other. Like we listen to each other and what each other needs.
Right.
And not what not just our wants, but our needs.
Exactly.
And then we go from there. And I know that we might have lost some of y'all when it came to the fact you found out we're polygamous. Well, you know what? Whatever. I'm so far beyond people's opinions and to care about them. But when it comes to my life, let's put it like that.
Mine too.
I want people to understand that however it works out for you and your spouse, it is you and your spouse.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, we're back on that point.
We're back there.
But it's vital though.
It's vital.
It's
vital.
That's really what makes or breaks a relationship.
Yeah.
No.
Like for real. Like for real.
What's up, Michelle?
Who's that?
Vernice.
Vernice Mitchell. I love Vernice. Women of Intent. She just signed a deal with Goodwill.
Get it, girl.
Women of Intent is on the move. How much time I got? Andrew, am I good?
20 minutes.
Got 20 minutes. Okay. Yeah. Women of Intent is on the move. Go to she has, I think, Women of Intent group for the women. Go on there, like the Facebook page, join the Facebook page, get in it and grow. If you are already at a place to where you have grown in your womanhood, find another woman that needs Women of Intent. They are making moves. They are all across the world. They're in Dubai. Right. Why am I saying they? Like, I'm not part of Women of Intent. I'm just trying to put in a plug. Okay, so we are all across the world. We are in Dubai. We're in South Africa. We're in different parts of Africa. We're in London. We are in various parts of the United States. Women of Intent is so dope. I credit a lot to Women of Intent when it came to restructuring me and God sending me that way to Vernice. As she heals others. And my husband has been on record saying he owes Women of Intent for bringing us back together and healing our marriage.
Absolutely.
And God healed our marriage, but using Vernice.
Instruments like her.
Yeah, using instruments like Vernice and Women of Intent to heal the brokenness that was inside so that I could flower. I could be the woman that he needed. I could be what my children needed. And as a friend, as a sister, as a lover, she meaning Vernice Mitchell, who is the CEO and founder of Women of Intent, oozes love. Okay. When you're around her,
yeah,
you just know love.
Such a good
okay.
energy.
Like she has the best, amazing energy.
Yeah.
And God is got her on a path that is healing women and healing families and healing units so that people can heal others. You guys go after women of intent. Seek
Yes.
it. If you're a man, sow into it. She got Sow 365. That's another Facebook page. Sow 365 is the public forum for women of intent. And Sow 365, you can give to women of intent, and that will help support others. You can she has a 501c3. You can do a tax write-off because we're now in the middle of the year next month. So the end of the last quarter is coming up a little later in October.
Yep.
You need a tax write-off. Do Sow 365, and you will help other families, and you will help her get to other families so that they can get some help, and women can be healed and whole and learn their worth and learn that they are beautiful and loved and love themselves. Because when your wife loves herself, honey, y'all sex is better. Just FYI.
Facts.
If she's so stressed out and she doesn't love herself, and you be like, girl, you fine, and she be like, look my butt, baby, look, it's got stuff in. She teaches you how to stand in the mirror and love you. Matter of fact, some of the exercises she's done with me, I've done to you. As far as like loving self and love exercises and different exercises. She has taught women how to be able to stand in that mirror, look us dead in our faces, and love each other.
Yeah.
And love what's looking back at us.
Yeah, it's really hard. I mean, I hear it all the time, but it's so true that it's so hard for you to you can't really expect people to love you if you don't love yourself. No. Well, I mean, that's
part of Black love.
Yeah, that's another part about
love
Black
yourself
love.
Because a lot of things is telling you not to love you.
That's right.
A lot of things are telling you that you're not accepted.
Yeah, a lot of things, and it could be a lot of past experiences that will try to give you a reason not to love yourself.
Yeah,
but you have to
to love you.
Yeah, and you have to be around people that can sow into you, so you can see the worth, and see your value.
Because you are valuable.
Yes, absolutely.
If you wasn't valuable, they wouldn't try and stump you out.
Absolutely.
You're valuable. Yeah. You're valuable because of who you are. Yeah. You are called by God. You are called. You are called. You are called. You are called. And God wants to show you how valuable you really are as Black people. Yeah. Because so many times we have been told we're not. But sometimes we do encourage. A lot of times we encourage ourselves. Be like, you beautiful. Your Black is beautiful. Yeah. Your brown is beautiful. Your lips are beautiful. Because I remember when I used to get made fun of because my lips were so big, I hadn't grown into my features. But
I've always thought your lips were beautiful. Okay,
I guarantee, yes, honey. Yes. I guarantee you ain't saying it now.
Thank you, Bernice. Love you, Bernice.
Oh my God!
Keep doing it, girl.
I can't see it.
See what?
Her comment.
What'd she say?
You said thank you, Bernice. Oh, no, I'm
just saying thank you. I'm just saying thank you for and publicly let me say thank you for and continuing to sow into my wife and download into my wife and keep encouraging her to just keep pushing and I just declare even greater things in your life as you do what you've been called to do.
Yeah, because she's dope.
She is.
She is so dope. Okay,
super
so
dope.
that was my Women of Intent plug for the day.
Yep.
Woo! She has. Oh, speaking of Women of Intent, their soul sessions are back in session. June 12th, Baya Center. I believe is the nope.
Okay.
Hold on. June 12th. Hold on. Let me make sure I'm saying this right.
Trying to make sure we're giving you the correct information.
Giving the correct information. Okay. So June 12th at 9:30, be at 909 East Broadway entrance on Campbell Street.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that is the first soul session, one of the first soul sessions. That's a Saturday.
Okay.
And the other one, I think, is that Thursday. But if you go on Women of Intent Facebook page, she has the updated announcements so that you can catch a soul session live and in person. Y'all ain't nothing like it. I'm telling you, bring snacks and some tissue because you're going to need it, because whatever you thought wasn't there is going to come all the way up to the surface. You're going to be like, oh my God, I'm free.
Snacks in one hand and a box of Kleenex in another.
Box of Kleenex in another, because honey, she gets down there deep. And so, y'all, that was a lot. I needed that.
Me too. Mm-hmm.
I love you.
I love you.
Thank you for doing this.
Can I take just a couple seconds just to wish you a very happy birthday?
My God.
Her birthday is on Sunday.
Yeah.
May the 30th. That was another thing. I mean, this is crazy, man. But one of the untold truths that we don't really mention as much is that my wife and my brother have the exact same birthday.
We do.
There was one.
And we're only a couple of hours apart.
Only a couple hours apart,
yeah.
man, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But don't ask. I need y'all's prayers because I'm still trying to conjure up a good plan on what I'm going to do for this nice young lady.
You know what? I told you what I wanted. Like, I'm revamping my wardrobe. Like, I want my outside to look like how I feel as free on the inside, right? And so I asked for a
Junior
few.
said happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my birthday.
Yeah,
it's my
birthday.
And so I told you I just want a couple of outfits that actually I want a couple of outfits that if you know any seamstress, if y'all in search of seamstress, because I would like a certain look and I've been trying to find a seamstress.
And I know the look. All right, just so we're clear. All right, I'm not in the dark on that. I do know the look, so we're going to. And I'm gonna definitely work on that.
Yeah, and I'm an out of the box chick. So if I could find what I'm looking for inside the stores, I would go to the stores, but I can't. I don't like looking like everybody else. Okay. And the next thing is sponsorship. If y'all like what it do is saying and what we're speaking and how we doing. Summer, I don't know. You talk.
Girl,
Carl. I didn't know you talked to. Who is that?
I know who it is.
Oh, okay.
So what did you expect? You expect me to marry someone?
Because I don't talk. I don't talk a lot.
That's right. You don't talk.
People
think that you're an introvert, and you're the biggest extrovert.
I am such an extrovert, but I only speak when needed. Yeah, I only speak when needed.
Love you, Carl, man.
Love you.
He's one of my biggest supporters. And not just me as a musician, but he supports me and Summer as a married couple.
Mm-hmm.
And he's always encouraging us, man. So thank you so much. Yeah, she's so very intelligent.
I am. I stay very quiet and I let foolishness be what it is. I don't. Everything don't need a comment.
But when she speaks, oh my, you better listen because she does have something to say.
Oh, I done gave him an earful of many a night. I be like, everybody ain't ready for me. Right. Everybody ain't ready. Right. But if you like what it take is doing, if you want to help support us so that we stay on the air, we're gonna stay on the air regardless because God is supporting this thing. But if you want to be a part of it, a part of the movement, a part of the word,
please
to get it out, repost You can also give to what would it take, so that you can sponsor. You can do a lot of I think, Andrew, you can put it up on the thing, like how they can give. I don't know. They can email me.
Yeah. If nothing else, just go on the Facebook page on the What Would It Take Facebook page, like our page, and there will be information on there. If not, sooner, just a little bit later.
Yeah.
On
and my Cash App. Who quiet?
You know what, Junior?
And Cash App. Like my Cash App is $ Summer Logan 1.
Okay.
$ Summer Logan 1. And or you can call up Speak Easy Podcast and say, hey, what would it take podcast? I want to give to it. So you can do a lot of those things. And that's what I would like for my birthday. Give to the podcast so that it can keep going, because we're about to do a YouTube channel, and we're gonna get this word out.
Yes.
And grow. Okay, you guys.
Absolutely.
Like for real. I thank y'all for spending time with us today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. Somebody said y'all are doing great things.
Oh,
thank you. God is amazing. He is glorious. He wants people to know who he is and how he operates, because this narrative has been a no-go. He wants people to know that he's not what he's been portrayed all this time. He really loves y'all and lets y'all be who y'all are, and he loves the way that y'all are. He just wants y'all to love others. Peace. As Martin said, peace.
You are crazy. Thank you for tuning in. You have just listened to today's installment of the What Would It Take podcast, hosted by Summer Logan. What Would It Take is a group of individuals that strongly believes in the necessity of conversation for the building up of our minority community. To stay in contact of our upcoming events, please visit and like our Facebook page at What Would It Take. Until the next time, I'm Joe Logan.
And I'm Summer Logan.
And we wish you peace and blessings. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.